Hey, so Voice Alligator just received an update. It is now at version 1.1. This will also be the first version that will be released via the Max Package Manager in the coming days or weeks. And there were some changes about how Voice Alligator outputs messages. So if you're a user of an earlier version of Voice Alligator, you would have to adapt your patches a bit. I don't think I have any users yet, but if you are one of them, let me know in the YouTube comments and I can tell you the changes. But the main update was that the Voice Alligator package has now two more externals, and I'm going to show you both of them in this video. And what I want to start with is Voice Alligator tilde. So Voice Alligator without tilde gets in messages and puts out messages which control mc.poly patchers. Voice Alligator tilde takes in messages and puts out audio, which we can use to puts out signals, which we can use to drive synthesizers. So I have a MIDI keyboard attached, and I want to get the notes from this MIDI keyboard. I want to pack them into a list consisting of pitch and velocity, and also just for visualization, I'm going to get a K slider in here. We want 2 octaves and a MIDI offset of 48. And also we want to go into the polyphonic mode. Okay, wonderful, this works. And now we can hook this up to Voice Alligator, and the first outlet of Voice Alligator will actually be at pitch, and the second will be an envelope. Both of these are multi-channel signals. So what we can do is put a MC cycle in here, and also I just remembered we need to provide a number of voices, so 8 voices. Connect it up to the cycle, connect that up to a multiplication. So here we apply the ADSR. And then, since now we have a 8-channel signal, we want to mix it down to just 1 channel. And then, since we're in stereo, we want to duplicate that channel. And then we'll also get a MC live gain in here to control the volume. Finally an MC easy DAC. And now if I play my keyboard, a bit loud, we have a working synthesizer here. Okay, that's pretty cool. It's a quite fast way to get a polyphonic synthesizer in Max. It might even be the fastest, I'm not sure. And now we want to have another thing, which I'll show you, which is I have also a sustain pedal connected to my MIDI keyboard. And I want to check which controller number the sustain pedal has. I press it, okay, 64. So now what I can do is say I want to pack the controller number together with the controller value. And then I want to switch the order. So reverse. And oops. Here we have value controller number, and now we have controller number value. So now we can use a root 64 because we just want to receive controller number 64. And then If I put an integer here, we see we get a 127 and a 0. And this we want to convert into a 0 and a 1. When 127 becomes 1 and 0 stays 0. For this we just ask, is this value greater than 0? And now we're set up in that way. Then I also want to visualize what is happening. For this I'll use a toggle. Okay, and now we're set up to actually control the sustain, because sustain is a built-in function with voice alligator tilde. And what we'll do is we make a message, say sustain $1. Okay, hook that up. And now we have a sustain pedal. Nice. Okay. One more thing that's maybe interesting is connecting the same pedal but using it to drive the monophony. So I turn monophony on. Okay. And I can also turn it on while playing. Again, like in the last video about voice alligator without tilde. It's mostly just voice alligator without tilde, but with a few more features. Hold a chord, press monophony. Okay, cool, that works too. Okay, the last thing I want to show you with this thing is we'll go into the help file. And here we have this section of the help file which we're interested in. Bit messy. Huh? Okay, we copy this section and paste it into our patcher. And then we still need to hook it up. Prepend attack goes here. Basically all these go to voice alligator, so I'll just pick up a cable here and connect them all up. There's still a hidden one here. Okay. So now we can use this to control the envelope. Can also make a different shape. Yeah, so that's also a possibility. We also have different shapes of glide curves. So if I turn on monophony, maybe make the glide time a bit. Okay. So that's voice alligator tilde. It's the first of the two new objects. Now I'm going to show you the second one. And for that, we're just going to clear the patcher. And the second one is voice alligator audio tilde. So I'll just put the two other externals that come with the package here. This is a message-to-message version, message to audio, audio to audio. And what that means is, I think the easiest way to show you is just to open the help file. Because it's a small help file. So here we have our frequency, which goes into inlet 1, which is a single channel signal. And this signal will be sampled whenever this input here, put a live scope here, sends out an impulse. So these are just impulses. We could also put a click in here and trigger nodes this way. And as soon as it receives a click, it samples the input of frequency and velocity. And then we also have a node duration here. Let's set it to 5 seconds. So now a single node will be held 5 seconds and then go into release, or maybe 120 milliseconds. Now we have very short nodes. Connect this thing again. This version also has most of the attributes that the other versions also have. Oops, that was wrong. We need to connect it here. But some are missing. Some because they don't make sense, some because they are not implemented yet. But monophony, for example, is available. For that, the duration needs to be longer though. And we also want to re-trigger the ADSR on glide nodes. Maybe set a different curve. Yeah, so that's all. Like I said, it's going to be out on the package manager in the coming days, hopefully. Thanks for watching. Hope you liked it.